Hello and welcome to Audionautic Deep Space Episode 6. Deep Space Network Episode 6, I should say. It's been a rough start to the morning, but we're here. It's been a rough start, but we're here. With me today is my Audionautic co-pilot, Curtis. How are you?
I am good. How are you, brother? You okay?
I'm okay. A little rough as we saw, but I do like that we both got the memo to wear red. We just forgot to tell Eon.
Yeah, I just got to tell you on just tripping up the side there, Howard.
Would I have done it anyway?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. But yeah, also with us today is our friend and colleague Eon Lake. How are you, man?
Hi. I have no idea how I am.
Cool.
It sounds like we're all about on the right spot. We're all doing the same today.
I'm happy to be here doing this. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, that's what
we go.
Well, we're happy to have you here. Yeah, it's been a hell of a week.
Yeah.
Ups and downs and topsy turvies.
And we're only in the middle of it, right?
Exactly. So
I was at physical therapy, and there's like, oh, so how's you're at half of the week? How's it been? I'm like, it's already Wednesday. It's like
what? What?
What?
It's for me so far. This is like the little top up as you get through the slog of that is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday day, and then this is like a little top up just to get you through to the weekend. It's like, oh, okay, fun, and then you go back to it. But it's all good. Yeah, we are here. Without much further ado, we are here thanks to our patrons on Patreon. They continue to support us. You guys continue to support us, and it allows us to do more of this and explore ever deeper what we're doing. If you listening to or watching this, like what we do and want to support what we do, head over to our Patreon and make a pledge, and you get lots of incentives, lots of exclusives, etc. And we have a little community growing, which is always nice. Sharing ideas and sharing stuff is always good.
That's right. Yeah, we have a Twitter group for the patrons, and we also have a Discord that's open to anybody if you want to hop on. We'll put the link in the description. Or actually, one of you guys, can you throw it in the chat, the Discord link? It's open to everybody, but we also have a Twitter group for patrons, and then patrons can also come on this show. We open it up to patrons about 30 minutes in. But yeah, we'd love to have you over there if you're interested.
Yeah, completely. We are heading that way. So yes, with all that kind of stuff doing, it is Wednesday. We are halfway through the week.
Yep.
Let's, Michael, what have you been doing so far this week?
Let's see. Actually, I have been working on some vocal stuff because I've got the next single has vocals in it, and I was gonna have someone remix it, but life got in the way for them. So I was like, I kind of want a second song, and I want something ambient, and I just started messing with these like choral vocals that I was doing, and I just started layering them, looping them, doing like all these different octaves and pitches, and it was really fun because I know Eon Lake was like, oh, do something out of your normal comfort zone and maybe you'll get a song, like do sound design.
I was going to say, silly boy, didn't you remember you were blocked?
I was doing sound design. I was doing vocal sound design. And then that determined the key. And then It worked. You were right. Yeah. Just like always, you were right. So that's what I've been up to. What about you, Curtis? What have you been doing?
Well, I started work finally on Fragments Volume 2 at the beginning of the week. I was like, I've been writing beats for so long, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to write any beats. So
you want a beat diet?
Well, yeah, one might say that. One might say that to a degree.
Diet beat.
Diet beat, yeah. But I've just been playing around. It's a bit like Fragments is always a bit like exploration of something new. So this time around, it's Vital. So I've got like the Vital VST. So I've got the Vital.
But that's VST free, right?
It starts being free, but then you can get the Pro, and then you can get the whatever more of Pro is. I got in early, and I got a free copy of Pro. So it's free, but it's also like $30 or something like that.
Oh, I got you.
But it's like community. It's a bit like Serum, and it's all community based. So there's lots of like free packs and free like presets going. Mm-hmm. So I spent today. I should have been working. I wasn't working.
Well, that's work in its own right. Weren't you gonna grab Serum or something though?
I was thinking about it. I could, because through Splice you could pay $9.99 for it. I haven't got $140 right now, and I was thinking about
$9.99 a month.
$9.99 a month for like 19 or 20 months or something. And I'm considering it. Like I pay for things like Spotify. So I mean, like if I can justify the gnarly badness that is Spotify. Surely I can justify Serum.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But it's right now. Fragments 2 is going to be. It's an exploration in kind of like understanding Vital. So I've just got like a ton of Vital synths loaded up, and it's a case of what can I do to make it do its thing. Essentially, it's just fun. We'll see. It's amazing how quick. Like, all right, so we sit and re-record, but it's amazing how quick if you just do it with MIDI. It's like, okay, yeah, that's good.
I know, right?
It's just like
that's why I like to write in MIDI and then move it to the hardware. Just play MIDI, play the MIDI. You know, you perform the MIDI and then just move the MIDI using like cables and stuff into like the Prophet or the MIDI log, and then there you go.
I went through a stage where I just used standard plugins to write everything. Just had a bunch of different sounds, all VSTs.
Yeah.
Set up, write
It's a good way to do it.
And then you get to send it out to some hardware and play around for real and soup it up. But yeah, it was quite a useful way of working for a while.
Yeah.
So as in, hang on, let me just get that right. So you're making stuff in MIDI and then you're taking it out into hardware.
Yeah, just change where it goes, dump the VSTs, and or just clone the channel and send it out to a hardware synth instead and dial up a sound you want then. But it just gets you away from that fiddling around with stuff. Go playing with your toys and actually just writing something.
Yeah.
So having some sounds that you kind of like, you know, that are good stock sounds, set up a template with them all in, and then, you know, write something.
Yeah.
And then experiment with your sounds.
Do you okay, here's a question for you both, right? So in my head, I don't like the idea of using a preset. Similar to you, Michael, not wanting to use Shutterstock for your artwork. We've got to manipulate the look slightly.
Yeah.
If I'm using a preset, I feel like I'm cheating.
Well,
even if it's your preset.
That's what I was gonna say. There's a difference. Is it your preset or a pre-made one like that?
Okay, well that's I say that's a patch because I made that. If I made a patch, I make a patch. But like a preset that like so you get the VST and then it's just like a Diva, for example, Juno strings, for example, or Tyrell Juno strings. Like I have to fuck with that because anyone.
Yeah, I tend to mess around with them anyway, just
for fun.
Just because I can't not really, but
yeah, you got to tailor it to you, right?
Just yeah. I mean, they're all good. They're good starting points. I think that's what they're meant to be, really. But they are meant to be, yeah. Because the thing about synthesizers with the filters and so on in them, and the different voicings and so on, there's a lot of ability to actually sculpt something that fits better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the way that the sound is actually generated itself, you know, the register that it's played in and so on, and all the other stuff we talked about before, but. Yeah, so I mean, I consider a preset just like a starting point.
Yeah.
A type of sound that you're just going to panel beat a little bit just to try and fit into whatever else it is you're doing at the time.
The other thing that's fun with that is reverse engineering, like seeing what they did to make that sound so you can do it in your own patches.
Yeah, there are some things that I would, I wouldn't think of doing, you know, that sound really cool. But then I will resave it as my own patch and claim credit for it.
Yeah, like
it's mine now.
It's mine, mate.
I've weed all over it. Now it's mine.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like
a dog.
Exactly. There's a load. Like I say, working with Vital a lot this week. There's the amazing like they have the wave tables and then they have the LFOs and they have everything else underneath it. They have this matrix thing, which is just as confusing as the film. But the the idea, I suppose, behind it is that you, like you say, you can go in and have a look at what's going on and then claim it for yourself. There's something nice and there's something nice behind that. Even like so Michael, you had some writer's block last week, didn't you? Or 2 weeks ago?
A month.
Like a month.
Or
and
2 months.
Just having that VST open and just kind of choosing some waveforms and then going okay, and then seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Without actually trying to do anything. It's quite cathartic, I suppose. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And you can use it to trick that stupid monkey into not being blocked as well.
Yeah.
That is true.
Silly monkey.
We'll have to see. But yeah, Howard, what's going on in your world apart from the clashes of the real life?
I'm continuing the dynamic Let's Stand Up for this, because I kind of like it actually, and that's what they do in broadcasting. You know, a lot of them standing up in radio these days.
Is that just so you don't fall asleep from us talking, Howard?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
You gotta stay awake somehow.
Busted.
It's too late for coffee, so might as well stand. You should just
But
stand
yeah.
on one leg, work your balance. Work on that balance while you're just
I'm
listening out to us drone on.
I am.
Oh, there you go.
This is how steady I am on one leg. It's incredible. I'm part heron though.
Do you have a
Over
specific-
here, there's a blinking light. Can you see the blinking
Yeah.
light?
I can see.
I see a lot of
There's a
blinking
red
lights.
one that goes blink, blink,
Yeah.
blink, blink,
Yeah.
blink, 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 blink.
Is that the noise it makes?
That's the noise. That's the patch, brother.
That's the noise it's making.
You get that to control the bass filter, and you'll never guess what happens. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah,
Yeah, I saw you got a new little piece of hardware, didn't you?
yeah. So it's just an LFO, but I mean, usually it's one that really time syncs and does clock divisions and so on. I mean, you could actually use it as a clock divider, I think, but it tracks tempo really well. So you can beat sync it. And it's got a randomize. You can get one LFO side. It's a pair. You get one to control the other one. Stick that one on random, and the other one on a certain division, and then it'll make it go faster or slower as it goes, but always in time, which is kind of cool.
That's a trip.
So you haven't
So,
seen your
right.
family for a few days to buy this.
Yeah, they're around here somewhere. I expect.
That's what
Using up heating and stuff. Yeah, got some new little things. No, nothing much, but yeah. It's
How's
nice
that
to have a little-
NPC?
It's I haven't touched it since the last time
It's
we
been
spoke.
retired.
No, I will be using it. I'm just getting deeper into other stuff first.
You've been playing the SP?
It was 404 a day on Monday.
I know.
Of course, you'd know that, wouldn't you?
I am fully ingrained in the 404 right now.
See,
So.
it's just,
It's so much fun, man.
Yeah, it's nice. And I want to build up a library and have lots of stuff to do on it, so that it really is a box you could just play with for hours. Because I don't know, you could just do whole songs on it.
Exactly.
It's
I had fun with that little
really
DJ set I
flexible.
did.
And I
Real
want to
sick.
start trying to do beat mixing on it as well, just for a laugh.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fun. Have you tried the DJ mode by hitting?
No. I love the fact it's D and J, by the way.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, DJ. Yeah,
you get
I was
to
like
it.
by hitting the DJ. Oh,
I
Roland.
didn't notice. I didn't clock that for a while. Okay, what's that button
I just
combination
learned
again?
that like about 10 seconds ago. Someone just told me.
But no, that's something I want to mess around.
Dude, try
with, is that it does look like fun.
It's a lot of fun. I
admit.
did it for a live stream a couple weeks ago, and then I'm gonna try it doing that, playing guitar on top, and like trying to do DJ/guitar.
Because when I've tried DJing before, I found quite early on when I used to go to clubs a lot that I just like transitions, Get a little bit bored in between them, but I like it when there's at least two records playing at the same time. It's got that extra meat
pub.
to it.
Well, there's something cool about doing that transition between them, like having the drums fade out on one, but the melody too, and if you sync the chords or the keys, you can get it. It's pretty cool.
Special things can happen.
I'd love to
and
do
hours
something.
can whistle
I'm sorry, go
by.
ahead. I'd love to do
Go
something with like what Hydra Fighter was talking about for an album or something, but with DJ, where you do the circle of fifths, like with each song. I think that'd be crazy.
Until you get round to 11 o'clock and there's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do a
Seven,
massive, like, drop
seven
everything down
flats in
again.
every in the scale.
Yeah, it'll be work.
Well,
See, I mean-
it doesn't have to be my music. I just pull songs in that key and just what.
I think we might find there's a lot in some keys, like A, like
E.
C, and but very little in, I don't know, E flat minor.
You'd be
I don't know,
surprised
actually,
though,
no.
because maybe
No,
not
I
electronic.
did one in that.
But guitar, a lot of guitarists and music like bands play in E flat because it's easier to sing to or something. Josh, you probably are familiar with that. Like not
But it's
just I mean as a guitarist, like a lot of guitarists play in like a lot of bands play in E flat.
yeah, it's like like Nirvana famously played in they dropped
Hendrix
everything
too.
down. Hendrix was down in E flat too for a little bit. Like it's for I don't want to say especially men, but I mean I think for the lower tones at least it's a lot easier to sing to.
Yeah.
And I've been making a lot of tropical house this week, and that is but a lot of that is in E and E flat, all in minor though, which is weird. You think Tropical House would be like upbeat and like E, but it's not. It's actually quite mellow and sad. But maybe that's just me inside. We'll have to see.
You're just dying inside and relating to it.
Well, it is now, anyway.
Putting your own experience on top of it, right?
I'll have to see. Well, I mean, it's a curious way to go. Like, so okay, I obviously I don't have an SP, right? So it has a D. So it's a D. Oh, okay, a D and J mode.
It's
like,
DJ mode. Yeah.
Press DJ.
Yeah, it puts two little faders on the screen, and then you can fade between them with the two middle knobs, and then you can also trigger all the effects. You can do like bends of pitch while it's playing. You can change the BPM up and down. You can sync the two tracks. There's a lot of stuff you can do. It's pretty cool.
So you can basically take two audio files and beat sync them and crossfade them and put all the funny effects on them. And some of the effects are like DJ filters.
Yeah.
So it's like a little tractor kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a cool little thing.
But it's just playing two samples, really.
But you can do full songs if you want. Yeah.
So I mean, okay, are all of these songs inside the SP, or are they?
Yeah, you have to load them in. You could record audio into it and then play. I think you could then play that because it would be in Umber.
Can you use the external input while in DJ mode?
That's what I gotta find out because I want to do that with guitar, but I don't know if I can. So if I can't, then I can't. So. Well, I wanted to play songs without guitar.
All this music, you know what this needs, don't you?
It needs more music. I got a shred on top, man.
All over
I just got a shred.
We'll see. Well, I tell you what, we have Hydrofighter sitting in the wings. We have quite a bit to get through, and so let's bring him in, see how he is, and then we'll ask him about what we got to talk about. Get him in. So we'll bring him in.
There he is.
Here he is.
Hey, Steve, what's up?
Good afternoon, buddy. How are you?
Hey, guys.
How you doing?
Hello. Was there some latency?
I had to mute the YouTube channel. There's a little bit of latency there.
Yeah. Those guys are just slow.
They just drone on.
That gives me a reason to go back and watch this video to catch those 30 seconds.
There you go, yeah. As if you needed a reason to rewatch.
Yeah. How's your week, Steve? Is it good?
Not sure.
That's okay.
I mean, that's what Howard said. Yeah.
That sounds like everybody's week so far.
I said.
I mean, the new KST album came out on Friday. Was it Friday or Thursday? I got the code for it on
Friday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Friday.
Got the EP.
Yeah.
EP. Yep.
That was lovely. I mean,
that
was
immediately.
Usually you're quite vocal about when stuff's coming out, but this was kind of, unless I missed everything.
Well, it was It was April Fool's.
Was it?
Oh, right. So that's
Why didn't I think of doing that?
Surprise!
Here's my triple album that I've been working on for the last hour.
We
man!
Typically release something that quick after the last release, but we had kind of these songs in the back burner. We were going a different direction with the next album. I'm like, Josh, let's just kick these songs out quick for an EP so we can at least use them for something. So we decided to do that.
That's
put
cool.
them in DJ mode.
Just put it in DJ mode.
That's fair. It's fair. No, it's a cool collection of Sonics. And again, usually there's a little campaign. Josh is very good at doing the whole kind of setting everyone up for the drop kind of thing. And then it was just boom, there it is.
It's fun
but it's called Elvirus, and the best track on it's Adino, according to me, anyway.
I agree, to be fair.
Let me see if I can remember the song names on this.
It's track 2.
Do you not like associate songs with the names?
I have a really tough time doing that.
Yeah, see, I've seen a lot of people say that.
I don't apply the names sometimes until afterwards.
I gotcha.
And these names were so similar. I mean, they're based off of viruses. So, I mean, it's just sick all around.
Can't help but feel there was one virus missing, though. Or maybe you leave that one off.
The past 2 years have been nothing's been going on for the past 2 years.
You didn't do a track called Noro either.
We'll see. Well, that's cool. Yeah, no, it's really interesting. It would just hit me up over the weekend. It was like, here, have a code. It was nice, and then it's going on the radio at the weekend, which is always fun. So that's nice. But yeah, Michael, Michael. You want to start with? I get all excited when Steve gets in. I get all excited.
I can tell. Howard actually sat down. He doesn't need to stand up anymore.
No, I'm not. I'm standing up.
Standing desk. It's fair. Michael, let's start. Seeing as we are sitting on a YouTube position, do you want to take us through your little what you found for the week?
Yeah, can you
YouTube?
pull
Let's
it
start
up?
With that. I'm going to put it up.
Okay,
I'm doing
cool.
it as we speak, sir. So.
All right, so I have to lean in because I'm seeing this on the OBS, so I can't see it on the.
Let me make it bigger for you.
If you can just make it a little. Oh no, it just got smaller again. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. So YouTube premieres, we all have probably used them. They're a really cool little tool that YouTube does. But they just updated it with what they're calling, I think, 2.0. Yeah, Premieres 2.0. And so they've added a few things. They have added what they call a live redirect. So you can now go live and then have it connect to the premiere. So you could go live right before the premiere, let's say 20 minutes before, and do whatever, talk. You could do a DJ set if you've got the SP or something equivalent. And then it'll redirect everybody when the live thing ends and the premiere starts. It just goes to the premiere. So everybody watching the live one is now in the premiere. So it's a cool way to just get people involved, interact with them, and then move them right on over to the premiere.
So this is a way to do just something else first.
Yeah.
But it's all linked together.
But it's connected. I think they give a directive of how to do it. Like you set the premiere, you upload the premiere first, and then you set a live thing, and you say connect this to the premiere.
So it's like a live stream within a live stream.
Well, live stream within a pre-premiere.
Okay.
Because the premiere isn't live; it's pre-recorded, and you just put it so it airs.
Okay.
Like you set a time, it shows it. So we do premieres all the time. It'll show on YouTube's browse search thing. It'll show Audionautic Radio premiering tomorrow at 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. or whatever. So now you can have that, but right before it starts, you can have a live stream and you can talk about it. So it'd be really cool, for the radio. Theoretically,
kind of thing.
It's like a pre-premiere, but it's live.
Right. So again, I assume so the reason that you've got so interested in this is, I assume, because it's that whole idea of community building and kind of sitting there for the premiere, because people like to comment first, don't they, and be in the chat and all that stuff.
Well, I just think it's a really cool way, and they talk after we talk about the 3 new things they added. Some example of a YouTuber that did this, and they got I think they said a 710% increase in views from that, because you do the live thing. Let's say you've got a music video premiering, right? So you set that for 11 a.m. So at 10:30, you go on and you're talking, and maybe you perform a live set or something beforehand, but you're engaging with the people in the chat. They're now in the chat and watching, and then when it switches to the premiere, they're already there. So you already have people watching. That is supposing people are watching the live thing first, but it's just a really cool way to kind of add another avenue to a premiere.
That's fair. It'd be interesting to see how, if there's any over the next couple of weeks, if there's much difference between when the big dogs do it with a couple of million subscribers, and then your little small fries such as us, if we give it a try. Because I'll implement something that maybe not next week, the week after, where we can kind of implement this in and kind of work through, see if anything occurs from that. Because we found out the shorts came through the other day. You've been doing really well on shorts, haven't you?
Yeah, shorts and reels.
Yeah,
not so much on TikTok. I made a TikTok, but I'm not playing the game of it. I'm just posting the things on Instagram. I just save it and go just post it. But
that's fair.
Yeah, I figure, just be everywhere if it takes 2 seconds to do,
Yeah, completely. And I mean, yeah, it's all good. It's all content for that kind of thing. We'll have to see where it goes on out.
Yeah.
So that's that's
the one. And then part 2. Hit the next slide.
Slide 3.
Yeah. So then now this is what I really like, trailers. So I don't know if any of you guys, have you ever opened a premiere before it starts, the day before?
Yeah,
and you just
not
see
knowing what day it is.
You just see that. You just see the thumbnail. Right, you just see a thumbnail and it says premiering, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Well, now you can have a video playing, like a short 30-second, what they're calling a trailer, before it.
And
but
you
they
can
say
maybe
it
put a
doesn't
calendar
have
up
to
and
be.
go.
It's its own video.
Not
It's
the right
not.
time yet.
It's not a
some jazz.
yeah. But no, it's not part of the video. It's its own video. You have to make a separate video, but you could be talking in it. It's just like another way that you could theoretically, if someone wants to click it first, they can see what the topic's going to be and maybe
Seems
be like,
to be like this anti-dead air thing, where you don't just have a thing there and go, "There's nothing happening." You
exactly. So if
Keeps
someone
you there.
goes on
Picture
at
of
the
a
day
guy
before,
with a spring coming out his head.
Yeah. Because I'm just thinking, like, you know, if someone goes on at the day before and goes, "Oh, great, it's premiering," but then life happens the next day, they may not remember to go on it, or maybe they can't go on it. But at least if you give a trailer, like, it's something in their brain that's like, "Oh yeah, this is what it's about," and maybe they'll remember to watch it later or something. You know, it's just like one more way to get people engaged before.
I mean, it's a good way of doing it. I mean, again, keep people on the platform, keep people there, and we bring this. I assume we bring this to the table today because for people like us who we're still building a community, this is the way to do it.
Every little bit
bring
helps.
out a new feature. Every little bit helps.
And I just think it's good to know what these companies are pushing, because usually when they bring out new features, they're pushing those features. Like Reels. That's why I've been doing Reels and Shorts, because they're just like pushing that. Like the Shorts on YouTube, they just push everything out on the Shorts feed, and it'll just get a lot of views. But if that gets you some subscribers and viewers that are going to stay with you, why not? You know, it's a good idea.
Yeah, completely. I mean, like you say, if these are the things that these companies are investing in, they're going to promote those who put it through. And it's the best thing to do. You know?
And I think there's one more thing they added. Yeah, there's one more feature they added, and this has been there for a little while, but maybe they like stealth added it, and now they're talking about it. But this is kind of cool. It's right there, countdown themes. You don't have to slide to it.
This one here.
It's just a really quick thing. So if you're ever in a video premiere before it starts, like right when it starts, I should say, it does a countdown timer with that like one song that sounds like a cat or whatever. Well, now you don't have to use that cat song.
To a cat.
now you don't have to use that. They have
what?
they have themes. And you know, you can go like ambient, and you can change the countdown timer duration. Instead of 2 minutes, you can do a minute and stuff like that. So
it's still a pre-packaged thing, right? You choose, but you've got more to choose.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
It,
it's their stock, you know, stock videos, stock library of sound. But it's at least you can kind of tailor it to your genre or whatever you're doing and stuff, and you can lower the countdown timer, because I always hate it's 2 minutes. At the time it's supposed to start, it's way too long. So you do a minute, and it's a little better at least.
Well, yeah, as in this countdown themes. Because obviously we upload quite a lot of content to YouTube ourselves. The countdown, firstly, apart from the cat sounds, but it's all very kind of middle of the ground. Like the images and the animations are kind of. They're so middle ground, they don't say anything. Like the new Chili Peppers album, it doesn't really say anything.
I haven't even listened to it yet.
It's so well. I'm just building up a lot of hate towards it.
Jeez.
But the animations that you get when you put them through, they're just like they're there to please everyone, and obviously by pleasing everyone, you can't please no one. You don't please anyone.
Yeah.
So
they're pleasing everyone. You are, of course, not pleasing everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like these trailers and this idea is pretty nice. If you can have a bit more variety in that. Yeah. Like for example, we're a space network, or we're a space themed kind of network-ish kind of thing. But the only space themed on YouTube at the moment is like little cartoons and that. And
we should get some of that K-pop stuff.
There we go.
For sure, we need BTS to kind of appear on one of our shows. That's what we need.
Really quick, I want to go to the chat. Shady Ridge is in there, the other part of KST, and he says, "All good info, guys. I had to watch and make sure Steve wasn't bad mouthing me. I don't know if you saw the earliest part when he was, Josh, but he was."
He was. You can always go back and have a look.
Wow. Clearly a label based on love and trust.
Completely. And on that note of love and trust, it's nice to have you here, Josh. I wanted to bring this idea of A&R. It's something we were going to discuss last week. We cut a little short last week, and I'm not going to share my screen for long because I know that people obviously want to see our face.
They want the red shirts.
They want the red shirts. That's what they want. But I read this last week, and I want to bring it to the table just because I want to get your guys' opinion more than anything. Kind of got your input.
Is that it now then, Josh? It's just that dude.
Just what now? What?
Just that fella there.
Just that. This is the only guy.
He's keeping busy.
He's been real busy.
Standing outside telling people about their music. But yeah, okay. I was having a chat with the guys at work about this A&R. They do a lot of A&R at work, and okay, so the business side of it, and then there's the business side of what we do, and obviously there's the artistic side. We talk a lot about the artistic side and what we do, how we create our gear, our ideas, and what we're working on, etc. However, there is also that business side of it, which I personally, I'm not the biggest fan of. I'll just put that out there straight away. This idea of like talking about your own stuff and telling people about your stuff and emailing people endlessly about your stuff. I'll do it for other people, but for myself, I don't like it. But it's a necessary balance. It's something that we need to do, right? So I'm just curious to bring it to you guys. Is it something that is on your radar at all? And if so, how do you maintain your discipline when it comes to promoting and A&Ring yourself?
Looks like Howard wants to go. Why don't you start, Howard? I saw that.
Well, no, I mean,
ready for a rant?
No. I just, it's something that's changed a bit really over the years, isn't it? It used to be they were the interface between you and the label. They found you. They're the ones with their finger on the pulse and go to all the gigs and know what's going on and who's hot and so on. And they're your interface between the label and you as far as getting things recorded and so on, and making sure you're not drifting off track and doing some mad concrete album instead of churning out the nice K-pop, Yeah. So obviously there's less of that going on now. There's much less people on major labels. People are on indie labels or self-releasing and so on. So, I'd say it's like one person, really, isn't it? At the lowest end of the scale, it's just you. I tend to want the music to be more descriptive of who I am and what I do than me talking about it, really.
Okay.
Everything I do is about an aesthetic. I've got opinions on everything, as Michael notes. But I know
Join
what I like.
Patreon and listen to Starstream for more on that.
Exactly.
What a plug.
Yeah. If you want me to unload. Yeah. I know what I like to hear. I know what I think looks good and so on. So I've got my own ideas about how I want things to look when I produce something, if it's a video, if it's a cover, if it's the music itself. But I do find it difficult to get out there with the self-promotion and this is, I've just made this, it's awesome, you've got to hear it. I don't know, I find sometimes that stuff seems really hollow, Everybody's super excited about their release. They are. I mean, they probably genuinely are as well. I try and find another way to say it, I can't wait for you all to hear it. That's not true. I'm not going to say that. I can wait for you all to hear it. I can't wait for all the love and plaudits. Maybe what that means, I don't know. But I'm not going to say that because it's not true. But I will say, I've done something, I like it, I'm proud of it or whatever, But I try not to be too pushy about, listen to it now, follow me, do this, do that, obey.
Just obey.
Just not
the
me.
Hypnotoad from Futurama just goes,
exactly.
Whoa.
Yeah. But seriously, obey.
Yeah. Well, Steve, what about you? Or do you have more, Howard? Sorry.
No, I'd just say the same thing again with different words.
There we go.
Let's go to Steve instead.
Obey.
Well, I'm just
obey.
I'm just gonna say the same thing that you said, Howard. Just different words and a different accent.
All right.
Go for it.
I agree with you on pretty much everything that you said. I mean, especially for the type of music that we do. If I had a career where I was in a rock band or I was a singer and promoting myself to become larger and bigger to make a career out of it, if I was in my early 20s or in my teens or something like that, or coming out of Disney or whatever it was, right?
Spoke like that normally anyway.
Yeah. I would consider more of the A&R type of stuff. I mean, for what I do musically, Josh on the label side, you know, he does a little bit more of the promotion type of stuff, but he doesn't try to jam it down people's throats either. So, you know, I think the labels on our level of how we doing it, I mean, I think Rare Foxman's doing a really good job at their stuff. I mean, all of their products look really good, and they've got a lot of things, a lot of music that they're flushing through every month type of stuff. So a lot of guys are doing it good. For me, that's not my spiel.
It is nice if you've got someone who does that, you know, and they can get good at it, you know, and focus on that, and people who just like making music.
When I think Josh on the Shady Ridge side has gotten a lot better at it over the past couple of years, and I think you'll just keep on.
Definitely. The pack shots and products and things like that, you know, nothing to say now. It's just like, gimme.
Oh, yes.
And
I nearly bought a tape deck the other day. After that Defender Rhino release, I was like, whoa, maybe. Maybe.
I have a tough time just getting my mom to listen to my music. She's like, why don't you put any words in there?
Yeah. Like, Mom!
You hear me talk all the time, Mom!
Yeah. Same here.
It's interesting. My mum never listens to my final stuff, but she always listens to the scratches because I send it to her on WhatsApp so I can pick it up on the computer. So I don't want to spam anyone, but I give it to her because she never checks her WhatsApp. So she'll always get the rough demos, but then when the final one, I'm not doing it anymore. She'll never listen to. It's interesting. Before I move to Michael, I'm interested just what you said, Steve, about too much and like doing it. I can't remember exactly what you said, but like pushing things out too much. For you personally, where do you draw the line between like good promotion and then something where someone's just like ramming it down your throat?
I don't really draw it at all. I mean, if somebody's trying to ram it down my throat, I just spit it out the other way. I mean, it's just like these radio shows who are trying to get you to pay them so you get more plays on their stuff, and it's like, I don't care that much, man. I got a steady job. Okay. I'm not losing money on this deal.
Yeah.
Losing time. I'm losing time.
Yeah. Yes, but it's fun.
Right.
Then you're not losing time.
Exactly.
You're just using time
wisely.
Yeah.
That's fair. Michael, what about you? Because I mean, coming from the other side of it, you've just you did Future Fate at the end of last year, and you've just had Star Guide come out a couple of weeks back. So I mean, how do you? I mean, we speak on a near daily basis about how much the business side of thing is frustrating. But your thoughts?
Well, I think it depends, and this goes to the points of Howard and Steve. It depends on what your goals are, right? So if you're just doing this for fun and you just want to put music out, then it doesn't matter whether you promote it, don't promote it, you know, whatever in that regard. If you're trying to do it either for a living or you want to, you know, get your music out there, you kind of have to do it. And if you're not going to do it, it's like, who is going to do it? And why would someone do it if you don't even believe in it enough to do that, right? Or have the want to do that. There is too much promotion, obviously, and like Howard was saying, it's kind of about finding ways to build a community and spread the word without just being like, check out my music. Like, try to build stories. Like they always say when you release an album or a single, have a story for it, right? Like I always think of Bon Iver, where he wrote that one album after like a breakup in some remote cabin, you know, because he was just processing everything and putting it to music. And that was the story, and it resonated with people. So he wasn't just like, listen to my music. He was like, hey, I wrote an album that was about this bad breakup. And people were like, I just had a bad breakup, or I rember a bad breakup. Yeah, you know, and they relate to it.
Unfortunately, it wasn't 45 minutes of him screaming, why?
No, fortunately for all of us, it was nice acoustic music, whatever. But I just use that as an example because it's just about setting the story.
No, absolutely.
And unfortunately, in today's time, if you want to do this for a living or, you know, get out there, you kind of have to be a jack of all trades and wear all the hats. And like A&R in the sense of you got to promote yourself. So yeah, that's my take. It really depends on where you're at, you know, and where you want to go with your music, and if you want people to hear it and things like that.
That's fair. I echo what Josh at Shady Ridge just put in the chat. I don't want to push my own music down people, but part of running a label, we need to promote more for the artists on the label.
Exactly.
And I echo that. Like I love part of doing Audionautic, and what I loved about doing Audionautic is promoting other people, because other people's music is fantastic, and it's great to be able to go, hey, look at this dude or lass over here who did this.
And if everything that you talk about is good, it's all good music, then you know, you become a bit more of a, you know, a tastemaker figure, which isn't a bad thing to be when you're trying to do your own music as well. You know, if people can learn to trust that when you talk about something, it's worth hearing, particularly because it's most of the time it isn't your own stuff you're talking about, then I think that's probably really helpful.
Yeah, completely.
And it also helps you be a person, you know, not just a me. I've done the me. Bye.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's just.
Well, none of us are probably making enough money off of our music to pay an AR person. I mean, we'd be going in the hole on that type of stuff.
That's what I mean. You got to wear all the hats yourself.
You got to wear the hats to get done. Yeah.
Totally.
I like, again, so like the processes, right? So the back office stuff, the stuff that isn't on social media, say. So like the emails, the submissions on Submit Hub, the submissions to radio DJs, you know, the interviews and stuff like that.
Social media managing, right?
Yeah, that stuff. Like I love doing it for other people. Like we've got people coming through onto the label in the next couple of months, the next couple of weeks. It's gonna be really exciting. Can't wait to like shout it from the rooftops, right? And then, all right, then my stuff comes out. It's even like the emails and the submissions. It's like, I'll get to it eventually, you know, that kind of thing. There's a real blockage between.
Do you think that's because it's your own and you're too close to it? Opposed to just being like tired from doing it so much of it with, you know what I mean?
I think
like the difference.
I think
there's
it's
a story there anyway.
Well, yeah, it's like what Howard said. It's like so the me. Look at me. I made something. Like go listen.
Me.
You know,
so it's got to be good, right?
Yeah, I hate it. Like, you know, the fun part of doing, for example, okay, what we're doing for your album at the end of the year, Michael. You know, the fun of it is the fact that we've sat down, we got these sonics, and then we put some visuals to it.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And we've just sat down together and kind of made it through. That's what's really entertaining for me.
Yeah.
If you go and listen to my new album at the end of the year and like it, cool. But my stuff's weird, so maybe like
you're really selling it today.
Yeah. I like weird though.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, it's a fine line. Like anyone get okay, whether you've been doing this for 10 years or whether you've been doing it for 10 minutes, as you say, Michael, like you've got to wear all the hats and you've got to make it through. And it comes down to discipline at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's the, you know, there's always, it's a job, isn't it? It might be making music and it might be a fun job, but at the end of the day, it's a job and you've got to get it done. Otherwise, you lose your job and then you're sad and you can't buy gear. And if you can't buy gear, what's the point?
You're not Howard if you can't buy gear.
Well, I think the cool thing that Sunwarper does, though, is he does his kind of instructional videos in a way, which is a different way of marketing yourself. It's not necessarily, I mean, you're not doing full-length songs. You're not giving everything away. You're giving some ideas about how the equipment works at the same time that you're promoting your music. And like what you've said, these shorts are helping you out quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
Aren't you scared people are going to rip you off?
In what way? Rip off like my
blatantly copy what you're doing.
The style.
See a Moonwarper out tomorrow.
Like what I'm talking about? Well, I'm not going that in depth about like chord.
I'm being a bit facetious, but
no, I get what you're saying.
There's an element of sort of giving away your secrets a bit as well, you know.
But
and how do you feel about maybe holding something back?
There's secrets, and then there's like normal production techniques and things like that, and just joining me as I create like a Dallas track. That's not the same as I sit on this microphone and sing, you know, 6 different melodies while I make these loops. You know, like it's totally different.
Yeah.
Those
special sauces stayed in the fridge then.
those
getting to see that.
Those secrets are hidden in the user manual.
There you go.
Or on
the Moonwarper user manual.
But
Coming spring
again,
2023. No, I'm kidding.
okay. So even like 10 years ago, I suppose I'm going to throw a random number out there and say it's true because we're on radio and I can do that.
I'll fact check you.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So now we have to provide. We're providing a service, and that service is not just the music that we make. Again, akin to what you're saying about the Bon Iver album, there's a story behind it, and there's a mechanism behind it that you attach yourself to. Everything is a story, and everything is marketed as a story, no matter what it is, And you identify with a certain artist or a certain idea because you appreciate what they're on about, or you feel like what they've gone through is the same thing as you have gone through. But at the end of the day, okay, so the instructional videos from Moonwarper here has you have to provide this service, and it's because we have a lot of this kind of like me in everything, not just our music, but it's what can I get from the people, which I feel like perhaps the greats of old, I don't know, I'm just putting that out there because I didn't grow up in the Pink Floyd's time, but I imagine it wasn't as wasn't as kind of taking from it. You don't see like Pink Floyd doing instructional videos for.
Well, it wasn't as transparent, but they also had A&R, and how many bands that wanted to be Pink Floyd but didn't because they didn't get lucky and get caught in it. We're in the internet age where you can do whatever you want, and it's all about finding whatever way gets you the exposure.
Yeah,
in this day and age, Pink Floyd wouldn't have been able to do those first 5 albums because they would have been canned from the label because they weren't getting enough sales.
But they could do it independently. It might have gotten huge off of that.
It's a common story with a lot of bands, especially a lot of supergroups that produced a lot of albums that sold massively. Like, a lot of the time, the first 3 were just like tank, and they're about to get binned. And on the 3rd album, Rush were like this as well, where it was like, "Oh, we'll just go nuts on this one. Then we're going to do whatever we want." Yeah. It's all going to be beards and satin sleeves and God knows what. And that's it. It's just they go mental from there, and then they've done 20 albums after that. God knows what. It's a common thing. I mean, that did happen with Floyd as well, didn't it? Where they were a bit not really doing the numbers for a while, and then suddenly one of the biggest selling albums of all time.
It's funny how that turns around quite quickly, isn't it?
I'm not sure you get that chance these days unless you're doing it yourself.
Well, people see so over the overnight success in inverted commas, you don't see the 10, 15 years of struggle.
That's the thing.
You don't see it. You don't pay attention to it because no one really.
And they try to gloss, over it when it happens because everybody wants that new thing. Like Howard always talks about going back to old songs is important and stuff, but it's like you always supposedly have to be like debut album and new this and new that.
Fresh out.
Yeah.
Still steaming.
Yeah. Fresh off the oven.
Maybe not that.
Steaming. That's one way of putting it.
That's the review.
Yeah, we can see. No, it's cool. It's no, it's all. It's an interesting way of going. It's just an interesting way of thinking. I suppose again, it depends on where you're kind of sitting with that kind of thing. We'll see. But speaking of that, by any chance, Howard, you having to have a look at the new? We talked about it yesterday. The new reverb. Did you play around with it yet?
I haven't. No, I don't have a chance. I've installed it, but I've still got. I'm in the middle of some top level tweaking here. I don't really want to restart my DAW so that I can try it out.
What is this?
Yeah, why don't you just pull it up real fast, Josh? It's from Baby Audio. It's like crystal.
It's a
Baby Audio are awesome. They've done what was it? Space. Just hang on.
Where is it?
This is a reverb unit.
Yeah, no, it's a plugin. It's a
VST
reverb plugin. Yeah.
Spaced Out is one I used to death all over my album because I really liked it. And this is a new one that they brought out that is more of a reverby type thing. But yeah.
I think it's got like a lot of options and things like that.
Well, we're all gonna have to go and experiment and come back with
Yeah,
our
it's like a
findings
proper
next week.
modeling reverb, but you get a chance to, you can change it. It's got, I mean, obviously it's got a lot of presets and so on, but it's almost like a convolution reverb that you get to change all of the features about. So
That's awesome.
I imagine it's probably going to be a little bit heavy on the CPU, but quite bright and realistic and so on.
I have been loving syncing the pre-delay and decay. I wonder if that reverb can do that.
What is in
should be able to.
Like BPM sync the pre-delay of a reverb to like 1/8, and so it like has this ducking sound almost, and then you can BPM sync the decay. It's Chromaverb is the reverb on Logic that lets you do it, and it's just you can do like a 2-bar decay.
Yeah, if you did a 16th or something, then you can get slapback and reverb.
It's really cool
in one.
Yeah,
which is a bit odd.
I was doing it with those vocals in that song. It's a trip. It's cool. It's really cool.
I'll have to let you know how I get on with that.
Yeah.
But their spaced out plugin is awesome. I used it loads. And
what is that? Is it a reverb too?
It's an echo and filtering and all sorts of wonky stuff like that. But it's really easy to dial in effects, and you can turn on buttons for your repeats. So you can set your, if you're doing multi-tap delays, you can set the taps yourself. You just turn them on and off on a grid.
Oh, that's sick.
Which is so it's really easy interface, but really good sound. You can get some freaky deaky stuff on there. It's a good for taking a bit of a sound and making it sound a bit more odd.
That's what delay and reverb does for you.
Yeah, a bit more like you're on Tramadol or something.
Did anybody
could I just go into the mic and then just stop the reverb and
could.
suddenly I've got fire? That'd be the best way to go.
Steaming.
Maybe off. Yeah.
Steaming.
Did you guys see that Roland or Boss just put out a new version of, or like a replica of the Space Echo? Yeah, that looks sick. And I think there's two types of it. There's like the small pedal. Like this guy, and then there's a bigger one that looks a little more and has more adjustments like the OG.
So that's so expensive now, the real one.
Yeah.
It's hardware, right?
Tape in them and
it's a pedal. The original one was a big piece of hardware, but these new ones are pedals.
But I did look at them and think it's like it's 400 quid for the big one, like 250 or something for the smaller one,
which is a lot better than
just
what the new.
Yeah, but I'm thinking at the same time as you've got spaced out and you've got the Sound Toys.
But what if you're DAWless?
What if you're DAWless?
For a guitar pedal board.
400 quid for a delay, basically, because you have. If you want a Strymon or a Chase Bliss or any of the other stuff that's really nice, I'd love to have. But I mean, even I'm not going to fork out that.
So you draw the line on gear on expensive pedals, huh? Modular is
I would
okay.
like
That's the line.
I would like to not have to.
We've now learned the line. Modular, okay. Pedals that are above $200, no way. Get out of here.
I've got a better example than that. So Roly have got a new Seaboard out.
Yeah, I saw that.
Seaboard Rise.
The like gray one, right?
And they're brilliant, and it's it's a great way of controlling lots of different things all at once with touch, which is a good thing to be trying to do because we're all about touch, just as kind of creatures we are. It's over £1,000, for
the old ones
a
were
controller.
$700, right?
600-700. Yeah, it was around there. So this is over £1,000, and it's a controller. So it comes bundled with a load of software and MPC available software. I've trialed some of it because I've got some Roly stuff, but it's just I'm never going to pay that kind of money on a controller. You could have a synthesizer for that.
Didn't they get bought out or go bankrupt and have to come back?
I'm not sure, but what I would say
had some issue.
It's my good friends at Modal. I don't know them at all, but I've got a Cobalt 8, and they've just brought out the Cobalt 5, which is a bus-powered 5-voice polysynth, and it's got the same analog modeling engine that the Cobalt 8 has got. It looks really good. It's only about 370 quid.
There we go.
They're packaging it as some sort of hyper portable but really good sounding synthesizer. It's good as a controller keyboard, but it is actually an instrument in its own right. I think it might be able to rival the Microfreak for being useful at a low price point. But it's got a really hilarious video as well with these young people calling me up. I'm working on an idea, some guy beatboxing. And one of them happens to work in this really plush studio, totally dank. It's like, what? Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Look at
Okay.
All right. Well,
In
I
fantasy
think
land.
we've
I-
hit our hour mark. Does anyone
our
have
hour
anything else they want to bring up before we call it a day?
What about Ed Sheeran winning his court case? I know you're excited about
I
that.
didn't
Oh,
even
yeah,
see
love
it.
it.
Nor did
Isn't
I
it
know there
great?
was a court case. So
Great.
In the high
It
court.
goes back to the copyright stuff, and that
Oh, is
song.
it? Yeah.
That song did not sound anything like the other. It was one little catchphrase.
Yeah.
Now
I
that
said,
song,
nah. Judge
Short-
says, nah.
short and sweet. When I first heard that Ed Sheeran song, it sounds like a song that Clark released a few years back. The song's
Oh,
called
don't start another one.
Oh, no.
Finding
we don't need
Fun.
more copyright.
Ed was saying how court cases aren't very nice, and he's glad it's over. And then you go and say something like that, he's going back.
Start it
next
all
week.
over.
Yeah, to do it all over again.
Somebody just trying to make a buck.
But he
Yeah.
he thinks, yeah, exactly, that that it's something that comes from America a little bit, where people will just, it's more expensive to actually exercise your rights and prove your innocence than it is to just settle. So people are just fishing, essentially.
Well, think about
fishing
all
expedition.
Think about all the hits he got or plays he got just because. he's
That's true,
in the
just to
middle of a
compare.
court case, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the BBC article now of it, and halfway down there is the link to his Shape of You official music video.
A&R right there, man.
Yeah,
Exactly,
A&R.
exactly.
Yeah.
Isn't that good
So,
publicity?
when one of us sues the other, right, in a year or so,
Coming for you, Steve.
our little plan.
Yeah, it could be. We could sue each other on that collab. You used too
Yeah.
much of my original sample.
Hang on a minute. I didn't say you can use that.
You make it work.
It's the
Also-
remix that Eon did of Sunwarper's song.
Yeah, I'm suing him
We're
for
gonna have
it.
at it.
I didn't give him those guitars.
It's only fair. I'd
Fair
sue.
game. Yeah. Anyway, on that note, we'll bring it to a close. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. Absolutely beautiful.
Really quickly, just wanted to go back to the chat. Shady Ridge Records. Good seeing you guys today. I'll have to try and get on one of these times. Definitely, dude. We'd love to
Yeah.
have you.
Yeah.
Be nice to have both
Definitely.
of KST on here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If you
Yeah.
ever do it on a weekend, you might be able to get us on the same screen, on the same monitor.
Interesting.
I wonder if we would just like explode by having both of you in the same chat.
Well, I
at the
got a
same
fat
time.
head.
If we can fit mine on, we'll be good.
Okay. Thank you for hanging out with us today, guys. Home,
Yeah.
and all of you as well. It's been great. It's always fun. It gets us through to the weekend. We'll see you next week. Everyone got their homework, so we'll see you in about 7 days.
Yeah, and I will put it in the description when we're done. But if you want to check out our playlist over on Spotify, we've got pretty cool playlist with a lot of great music on there. We're going to be doing something really cool with it soon, but we can't talk about that just yet. But I just wanted to throw that out there. And then we do these every week on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. UTC, I believe. Josh will correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, I'm
Nice
right.
one.
See, look, I'm getting
You're all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Again, it's
there we
only
go.
taken you 2
I gotta
years.
just
Nice
believe
one.
in myself now, you know. I just
Yeah.
it's like you with the music. You're like, I don't want to share it. I'm like, I don't want to say the
Well,
times.
okay.
But anyways, that's all we got. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Take it easy. Bye now.
Take care, guys.
All right.
Love ya.